This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. And that's both physical, mental, and spiritual, as we cover all kinds of topics that relate to each and every one of us in the United States and throughout the world as well. We've got some really interesting people to talk to today, as we always do. We're going to end our show today talking about cancer and how cancer affects the family, how it can really hurt. And we'll be talking with a friend of mine. She's actually a soap opera director and has formed a foundation for her brother who passed a few years ago. And we'll wrap up our show today talking about that as we begin our show talking about preventing and possibly even curing cancer with our good friend Christine Horner, author of The Warrior Goddess. And in between those people, we will be talking about the Addictocarb diet and much, much more, including a visit from Robert Clancy, author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul. All right. As we begin, we go to San Diego, California, and we speak to one of the prettiest, I have to say one of the prettiest, doctors. I'm going to say the prettiest. What the, Christine Horner, the author of The Warrior Goddess. Let's just talk about your background. You were trained as a traditional MD, and a light switch went on. Explain that quickly.
Sure. So, board certified in general surgery and board certified in plastic surgery. So a huge amount of Western medical training, and did a lot of breast reconstructive surgery as a plastic surgeon. And shortly into it, noticed that my patients were getting younger and younger until I was finally doing breast reconstruction on women in their 20s.
Oh,
and I went, okay, something's way wrong with this. So I started looking through the medical research to see what, if anything, women could do, and I found thousands of studies showing exactly why we have a breast cancer epidemic, everything we're doing to contribute to it, and the things we traditionally don't do in this culture that are highly protective, and they were all natural. So food, supplements, herbs, lifestyle choices, those are the main factors. In fact, what the research shows is that about 95% of the cases of breast cancer could be prevented just through diet and lifestyle alone. And I was taught nothing about that in medical school.
In medical school, you had, what, less than 20 hours of nutrition training?
Nothing. Zero.
Nothing.
Not a single course in nutrition. Nope. And
were they offered, Christine?
No. There were no electives in med school. You just did, what they told you to do. No, there was nothing. I learned nothing about health. I only learned about diseases and how to suppress the symptoms with medications or to, cut things out.
Do you still do surgery of any kind now? Or
no,
not?
I actually left my practice. So, after I discovered this, I just thought, for God's sakes, people need to know this, right? And I got into the system of medicine, Ayurveda. I discovered Ayurveda then, and, Ayur means life, Veda means knowledge, so it literally means the knowledge of life, which is the system that tells you about how to become and stay healthy naturally and really for longevity, too. And again, all these things I never learned, in Western medicine. So,
and Ayurvedic medicine is thousands of years old and based on
5,000,
India,
yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. That's correct, yeah. So once I, started learning that, I thought, for God's sakes, people need to know this. So I, talked to the television stations in Cincinnati where I was in practice and said, hey, let me be your on-air doctor talking about complementary and alternative medicine. And they said, sure. So as far as we know, it was the first syndicated segment in the country. It was in 1999 through 2002. And I was working 14 hours a day, 7 days a week between doing that and my practice. And after 3 years of it, I woke up one morning and went, I don't think I can do this anymore.
I get that.
I quit my practice. And my mission is passion is teaching people about how to become and stay healthy naturally and avoid the knife. So that's what I have done now since then. And, writing books and being out there doing lots of interviews like on your fabulous show.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. We want to talk about something called Immunotherapy. It's a new look at cancer treating cancer. Former President Jimmy Carter has said that this has saved his life and destroyed his cancer that was in the news all last year in 2015. And it's based in Israel, and while we're not a political show, President Carter has never been a particular fan of Israel until now because the immunotherapy was discovered there, if I'm not mistaken.
I actually don't know the history of it, so that would be, with that particular drug. But, just to be completely accurate, with Jimmy Carter, he actually had surgery to remove a tumor that was metastasized to his liver, and he had radiation treatments to his brain. But in addition to that, they also treated him with something that is, considered an immunotherapy drug. So the drug is called Keytruda, and there's all sorts of different types of drugs that are now being developed that are taking advantage of your body's own ability to fight off cancer through the immune system. So there's many different kind of angles that they can go in to make your own immune system more effective. This one removes a block, like the cancer cells or your normal cells will produce like a block so that your immune system will not attack your normal cells. But the cancer cells can get real tricky, and they're like, oh, we're going to do that too. So, the immune system can't, attack us. And so what that drug does is to remove those blocks so that the immune system can then attack it. So there's less side effects in general associated with these immunotherapies. And again, it's kind of like just taking advantage of your own body's, ability to do it. So it makes sense to me, to try to do that. And in the same, vein, trying to prevent things in the first place. I'm big on prevention because, it's always better to prevent things rather than be in a situation where you're trying to, cure something after you already have it. But definitely keeping your immune system strong to try to prevent, cancers and other illnesses is an absolutely brilliant thing to do, and it's been shown to be extraordinarily effective.
Which is a terrific breakthrough to me as well, as a healthcare consumer. That would be something that I would recommend to a family member myself rather than going for surgery or maybe even combining that with as President Carter did. What about side effects? I mean, there are side effects with radiation and chemo,
right,
in that not only does it kill the cancer cells, it kills the healthy cells.
Right, yeah. So chemotherapy is non-discriminative. It goes after every single cell in your body, whereas with the immunotherapies, we call them targeted therapies because what they're doing is really targeting the tumor without causing any damage to the other cells. Now, there are, potential side effects with any drug that you do, and as I told you with Jimmy Carter's drug that they gave to him, it was something that removed the block, so now the immune system can now attack the cancer cells. So because it's removing the block, it can actually do that on your own body's, tissues too. So one of the side effects with this particular drug is that it can cause the situations what we call autoimmune diseases is when your body's immune system is attacking your own tissues. And so
right,
that's something that, increases the side effects as far as that is concerned. And you get a lot of inflammation because it's, again, it's part of the immune system kind of attacking your own tissues. So there's one of the main things that they have as far as a side effect with the drug that he was on was a problem with inflammation of the lungs and the liver and the kidney and even...
And you have to feel like poo-poo when you're on all those things. Our guest is Dr. Christine Horner. She is the author of The Warrior Goddess. We're talking about immunotherapy. It's a new approach to cancer treatment. We're going to talk about cancer prevention in a couple of minutes with Dr. Horner. Our good friend and associate producer Kevin Stern sent me a news article, and I'm trying to follow up on it, from a biotech firm in Israel, actually. And they have come up with a drug. It's gone through some clinical trials in Israel with no or very little side effects that proves to be very successful. My question to you is, without telling you the name of the drug and all that.
Uh-huh.
The American cancer industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Would you say that this industry protects itself in trying to quash natural approaches to cancer prevention as well as cure?
Oh, sure. I mean, that's extremely well known. And there's been all sorts of breakthroughs that have happened on the natural front. The FDA will come in, shut people down, and that's why we have there are clinics that are set up in Germany as well as in Tijuana where they're doing some of these techniques and getting some very good results with it, which is not allowed here in the United States. So, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's, unfortunately, it's just a fact of our modern-day culture is that, corporations are in the business of making money, and so they, do things.
They're trying to protect themselves.
You bet, yeah.
When we come back, we're going to talk about cancer's favorite thing, and that's sugar. We'll be talking about sugar more with Dr. Bruce Roseman from New York. He's the author of The Addicto-Carb Diet. He says that carbs are as addictive as heroin. We'll find out about that in about 15 minutes or so coming up here on Late Night Health. In the meantime, join us at latenighthealth.com. We have a new thing. We have a brand new newsletter coming out. You'll be able to get it absolutely free. Just opt in at latenighthealth.com. All right, Dr. Horner and I will return along with the insane Daryl Wayne coming up on Late Night Health. Don't you dare go away.
Have you ever needed a flashlight and reached into a drawer to find your flashlight is dead, and then go to put in new batteries only to find the insides are all corroded? Now Hybrid Light has created a solar-powered flashlight that requires no batteries and also charges your cell phone. Hybrid lights are durable, waterproof, and hold a charge in the dark for up to 7 years, and perfect for any emergency or everyday use. Now you can get your own Hybrid Light today for only $34.95, and if you mention health, you'll receive a Hybrid Light headlamp absolutely free. That's our durable Hybrid Light with a free headlamp for only $34.95. A value of $60, only $34.95. Call us today at 800-297-8109. That's 800-297-8109 to get this special Hybrid Light offer today. 800-297-8109, 800-297-8109. In the promo code box, type in HEALTH. 800-297-8109.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-789-7213 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 800-789-7213 to take your call now. Call 800-789-7213. That's 800-789-7213. Again, 800-789-7213.